Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is the page that I'm going to be doing today, and I'm going to be doing what I'm calling the window box technique. So before we get into that part, my plan is I'm just going to cover the entire background in this lemon zest. So I'll do that really quick, and then I'll be right back. Now that we got this all colored over, we're going to set it aside to dry. Because what you need is, this is 80-pound cardstock, and it is 8.5 inches long and 3 inches tall. But we need to do some scoring. So I'm gonna grab my scoreboard here. Let's see. You need to put a score mark right at 3 inches. And then from the 3 inches over to the left, you're going to do a score at 1.5 inches. So you could start at 1.5 inches if you want to, and then do 3 inches. I just do it backwards. That's just how my brain works, I guess. Okay. All right. This way. Now that you have your two score marks, what you're going to do, at the 3-inch score mark, you are going to fold it up just like so, and give it a good crease, a good press. And then at the 1.5 inch score mark, you're going to fold it back down on itself, just like that. So it's gonna, from the side, this is what it's going to look like. Okay. And then between your two score marks at the 3 inch and the 1.5 inch, you're going to put a piece of double-sided tape, 1/4 inch double-sided tape, just along this side and along this side. Let me grab it really quick. And we'll do it together. So right here, I'm going to put a piece right here, just up to the 3 inch, or the, yeah. Just like that. I don't know if you can see it very well. And then do the same thing on this side. Okay. Like I said, it's only between your two score marks, the 3 inch and the 1.5 inch. And then we are going to take it and remove the double-sided tape, grab our glue, and get it stuck down onto itself, like that. Let's do that really quick. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to grab a measuring ruler, whatever you have. I'm just going to take my cutting mat here because that's what I have handy. And that should give you about 4 1/8 inch. But just for the sake of making it easier on me, what I'm going to do, or easier, I'm going to put the top of my piece right at 4 inches, and then I'm going to make a tick 1/2 inch down from there, and then I am going to go in and move it over and do the same thing on this side. Here. And then at the bottom here, I need to grab a clear, I have just a stamping block. I'm only going to go up just a little bit, maybe a 1/16 of an inch from where the pocket that we just made is. So I'm just moved it up about a 1/16 of an inch. All right, and from there, we're going to go up a 1/2 inch. And same thing over here. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to make my lines there. Very lightly because I will be erasing them. One of these got off somewhere, I just don't know where. That's all right. And then I need to come this way. And somewhere that's about center, that I think is about center, I'm going to put a tick at 1.5 inches because it's in the middle of the 3 inches. And then this way, it should be roughly 3 inches as well. So we're going to put a tick going the opposite way at 1.5 inches. And then this is where it's going to get just a little bit tricky. My plan is I want to give myself 1/4 inch this way and 1/4 inch this way. I'm just going to eyeball it, but if you wanted to be precise, you would go in, here, maybe we'll just do one. I'll do this one. So that tick is right there in the center. So I would move it over 1/8 of an inch here and 1/8 of an inch here. Come down here, and same thing. Here's 1.5. So go left 1/8 of an inch and right 1/8 of an inch. And come up here and do the same thing. Then you're going to take your thing and draw your lines. Same thing over here. Put it in the center. You're going to go over 1/8 of an inch and the opposite way. Come up here, do the same thing. 1.5. We're going to go to the left 1/8 of an inch and the right 1/8 of an inch. And down here and do the same thing. And draw those lines out. So now you're going to go in and cut out just the 4 squares right here. Now, what we're going to do, and I actually think I want these windows to go down a bit more. So what I might do is I may just go in and cut out a little bit more of them. Alright. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this aside because this is the main part that we have ready. And I'm going to go back to my book because this is going to be stuck down right about here. But what I want to do is I want to make lines in the background. So I'm just going to grab me a block here. And I am going to grab a pen of some sort. Which one do I want to use? I'll use my Sharpie roller. And I'm just going to make lines all the way down the page. And that's going to give the illusion of siding on a house. Okay, now I'm going to go in with desert sand, possibly a little bit of lemon zest, and maybe some melted chocolate, just to kind of shadow a little underneath the lines to give them the illusion, the depth of siding on a house. So I'm going to do that really quick, and I'll be right back. So now that we're all done with the coloring, we're going to set that aside and we're going to move back to this. Let that dry up a little bit. And I am just going to take the desert sand and the melted chocolate, and down here on top of the little flat piece, I'm going to make it look like wood, kind of. A lot of it's going to be covered over anyway, so it's not going to matter. And to do that, I am just going to go over it with the desert sand, and then I'm going to make little lines and whatnot with this. Now for some of the fun part. What we're going to do is I am taking this image from Branching Out, and I am just going to start cutting bits and pieces off of it and sticking them down onto here to make them look like they're hanging over the planter box. So I have already placed double-sided tape on the back of them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get them stuck down. The ones that are on the bottom I'm going to stick down first because I think I want them in that orientation, somewhere like that. So I'm going to go ahead and peel the double-sided tape off and then put the glue on and get them stuck down onto here. And I will be right back. Alright, so from here what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut everything off that's across here. So I'm just going to take my scissors and make me flush cuts. Just like that. Anything that's sticking over at all, I'm just going to snip it off. So this has the ability to go up and be a little hidden journal spot. And everything around here I'm going to cut, because what we're going to do is we're going to stick this down onto the page, and then I'm just going to put these over onto the page. You'll be able to kind of see that they're separated, but it's really not going to matter. If you didn't put the double-sided tape on ahead of time, it would have been a little bit more difficult. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to go ahead and cut around it and stick my pieces to the side so that way I can use them. Alright, that looks a little weird right now. But what we're going to do next is we're just going to get this piece stuck down onto the page. And I'm trying to decide, do I want it up higher maybe? I think I do. I think I'll put it right about there. So I'm going to get this stuck down to the page really quick and I'll be right back. And now I'm going to start piecing these pieces back on. But they're going to actually just go in like so. Alright, so now what we need to do, there's a couple more things. One is I am just taking a paper clip, and it's a green, and it's like 1 1/4 inches tall, not very tall at all. And I'm gonna have this be something that helps hold the flap down, but I'm also gonna make it decorative. And to do that, all you have to do is take your paper clip. This is just a little bitty piece of the Dylusions cardstock. It's probably about I'd say maybe 1 1/4 inches by 1/2 inch. What you're gonna do, you're gonna slide it up underneath the small ring there, right to the edge, and then you're going to wrap it around, all the way around in one full circle, like that. Okay, and then slide it off of your paper clip. So you should have a little trifold thingy here. And then you're just going to put your little bit of double-sided tape and glue here and then seal that in. And if you have excess, just cut it off right there on the edge. Take your paper clip, slide it right back in there where it was. So it goes on like that. Alright, and then what I have is from the branching out set, I have one, this is the small flower, the smallest flower, and I'm just going to take it, let me grab my, I'm going to put a piece of double-sided tape there, and I'm just going to stick it on there, like that. First I'm going to measure it out to see how tall that makes it. So I'm actually going to cut this down a little bit shorter because I don't want it to stick up that high. So I'm probably going to cut it down to about 1/4 of an inch. About like that. Now I'll get me some double-sided tape, stick it on the one side. Slide this back on to the shorter side, like so. Peel my tape off, put some glue on, if I can. And then, just so I can see which way I want my flower to go, I'm going to stick this down in there. I should have probably did it while it was stuck in, but it doesn't matter. Grab my flower and decide how I want it. Probably something along those lines right there. Alright, give it a good press and leave it there for a moment. Because the next thing that I'm going to do, this is just a tag that I had made by mopping up. I was coloring tags, and this is, I think, London Blue, Island Parrot, and Lemon Zest. So I painted the back of it black, and I just edged around it in black. And I am going to use my leftover leaves and another one of the yellow flowers just to decorate it. So I'm thinking. And then do I want this guy over here maybe? I can probably curl that around. Let's see what we got. Alright, what are we working with here? I have that one there, and that one there, and then this one here. I think I'm going to go with that. So I'm just going to get these stuck down really quick. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off, because what we need to do is we need to cut out these little squares here to be able to see into the next page, because I mean it is a window box page. So put your cutting mat down, and you're just going to use those same lines that you used and go in and cut them out. What I might do to make my life just a titty bit easier, take my black Posca paint pen and just give myself a bit of an outline. Now I'm just going to take my colors here and kind of fill in this. So you don't really see it as much. And then I'm going to take my black Posca paint pen and outline everything. And now I am going to do the wonky line border on this because it's going to kind of look like a vine. Alright. And let's start piecing it together. What we have here is we have a tag, and we created a tuck spot, and that's why we made that little oh my goodness, I can't even think what it's called. That's why we put the double-sided tape in between. And then when you fill this up, you can have room to write in here. And I'm undecided on whether I want to color that in or just leave it blank. For now, I'm going to leave it blank, but I am going to do a border around it. And I think to go with the wonky line, I'm going to do the wonky line border. Go. And then this we made just to take and stick on here to add that little extra something to it. So what I think I might do actually is I may take my desert sand and just go around my window for a bit of shadowing around the window to make it look 3D. Kind of. That is it, guys. That is my page for the day. Like I said, very simple, very basic, very cute. But I have a window here to see through to the next page, so we'll just put this back here as a hypothetical, so you'll be able to see what is on the other side. And then my tag is where I'm going to write at. I have this space and then all this space. And then whenever I pull this flower out, we have that little journaling space there. It's just a cute little thing. That's all. Can you tell that I'm missing spring and summer? By my colors of my pages at least. I hope this page gives you some kind of inspiration for your journal pages. If you liked the video, please give it a like. I thank you so very much for watching. And until the next time, I hope you stay safe, stay warm, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.